everyone else going, welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So here is my review, or I guess breakdown of the season 2 trailer for The Walking Dead Dead City. We got like this teaser trailer that came out today, and honestly, I am really excited for Dead City. I honestly, like, my genuine reaction to watching this teaser trailer was like, I was much more excited for this than watching anything for Daryl Dixon season 2. Not saying I'm not enjoying Daryl Dixon season 2 at all. Like, obviously I am enjoying the season, but it's just, I don't know if it's because it's New York City and like the lights and everything, just like what we saw here, honestly, like, it just really felt like classic Walking Dead. And we also got a release date here, which is really exciting. So yeah, a lot to break down here. So before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this. Gimple has been talking about the idea of future spin-offs, actually mentioning that they're working on some right now. So yeah, I do want to break down some of the details there. There was a mention about something that happens in Daryl Dixon season 2, actually, that sort of hints at the future of The Walking Dead, or it adds to the mythology. I have to look exactly at how he said it because it was very cryptic, and they were talking about Easter eggs or things that, you know, were, I guess, are happening in Daryl Dixon season 2 that tease the future. And he said something like, you know, there's Easter eggs, or sort of a small Easter egg, and there's something else to look out for. So again, I'll have to look at exactly how he said it there, and I'll do a video later on breaking all that down, because yeah, that's really exciting. So there is something actually to look forward to in season 2 here, and it might be something really small or something you might not get right away, but I am really interested in that. And I do wonder if it's probably going to build something that builds up to the finale, right? Like, there's probably going to be some sort of reveal. Like, I'm not saying like a reveal in terms of the story, but something that happens with the storyline that teases the future of, I guess, The Walking Dead. We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, a lot of information. There's a lot that we learned here. And so yeah, let's break down the trailer here for The Walking Dead Dead City season 2, which again, I was very, very surprised by. I was not expecting the trailer to be this amazing, honestly. Like, it's just the way that the trailer looks. Like, the show looks absolutely incredible, and it's seeing the Statue of Liberty and New York City, all of that was really exciting. Honestly, it's just very, very cool to see all of this here and to actually see what the story is like around, you know, the Commonwealth and Alexandria. Obviously, this is sort of far away from that, but we've been in France for so long now, you know, like the Ones Who Live focused on that story there, but we didn't really get to see much of like places that were closer to, you know, the Commonwealth and Alexandria, and this feels like the closest to The Walking Dead. Honestly, a shot like this, like, you have to watch the actual teaser trailer. Like, honestly, when you watch that, you actually do see how amazing this looks here. Like, honestly, this is the best looking spinoff yet. For some reason, this is like the best looking spinoff yet. We do see Maggie here, and you know, the dialogue over this is like why after all of this, like after everything that happened, well, actually what the dialogue is why do you want to bring back Manhattan? So it's not only going back to New York City, because obviously we know Maggie is going to be going back there, but why, whoever she's talking to wants to bring back Manhattan. And what's really interesting about that is, obviously, at the very, very end of the trailer, we do see that they do actually succeed in doing that, right? So we actually do see that the light is coming on, and it's not just like a couple of buildings, like a lot of buildings. There's power being restored to, I guess, Manhattan specifically. We'll see about, you know, other parts of New York City, but that is honestly really insane for, I guess, future seasons, because I'm guessing that this is going to be something that, you know, the season builds to. Is like, I don't know who it's going to be, if it's going to be, I mean, it's not going to be the bricks, obviously, but like New Babylon. Will New Babylon, you know, be doing this, or is it going to be Bruegel or Dama or Negan, right? Like, I don't know who is actually going to be the one that restores power here to Manhattan, but it looks like it's actually happening, and this is a really big deal to actually restore power to a city like this. Like, honestly, this is the thing that I almost wanted, like, The Walking Dead to get into, because what we saw more of on The Walking Dead and also in The Ones Who Live was more like the communities already had power, but we never got to see how they restored the power and everything, and how they actually made all of this happen. So seeing this here, honestly, is absolutely incredible. And there was a lot of mention during the panel from Scott Gimple and others that, like, there's really emotional moments that happen, and especially the finale. Like, the finale is supposed to be the best episode, I would say, of the season. I know Norman Reedus talked about that, you know, in Daryl Dixon season 2, and a lot of people disagree with that, but they're saying that the story builds up to the finale and then something crazy happens. And so I imagine it's going to be something with the story. I don't know what yet, like, I don't know what's going to happen here, but it does seem like, you know, Negan being in power here in Manhattan, if he's the one that restores power here to Manhattan, like, this is such a crazy story for The Walking Dead to do that. It feels like, honestly, I am genuinely excited for this, and this feels like something that will actually bring The Walking Dead back, because for the last however many months, I've been feeling very just like, I don't know where The Walking Dead is going. this and that. And Gimple has talked about a lot of things about the future of The Walking Dead and all that, and certain things he's working on, and also talked about like crossovers and cameos. And actually, I mean, he's not going to confirm it ever, but he did sort of say that you never know sort of thing in terms of cameos on this show. And so obviously that means that, yeah, we'll probably see, other characters show up here on the show, and we'll see if that actually happens in season 3, maybe, right? Like maybe Dwight shows up in the finale here of season 2, and then he'll be there for season 3, or like maybe it's another character entirely that we're not thinking of right now. But that's just honestly really exciting. And I will say they also did confirm that the show is going to be 8 episodes. So there's been a lot of rumors about that. Will Dead City be 6 episodes, or is it going to really be 8 episodes? They confirmed it's 8 episodes. They were all talking about it, saying it's 8 episodes and whatnot. So yeah, really incredible. Like, we don't have to really worry about that at all. It is actually going to be 8 episodes, which is amazing because obviously that's been a big complaint. So honestly, Dead City season 2 looks absolutely amazing right now, and I'm so excited for this. Like, it's coming out in spring 2025, which obviously means anywhere from like what, I guess late March up until I guess late June or something like that. It did come out in June of 2023, the first season, but I don't know if they're going to release it then, because I mean, yes, we'll have to wait, I guess, a little bit longer for that show, but Daryl Dixon season 3 will be out most likely in September, right? So to me, when I look at it like that, I'm like, well, I mean, Dead City would end, I mean, it's going to be 2 months of airing if it came out in June, so it would end, I mean, even if it was early June, it would be out June, July, and then also into August as well, right? If it was later June, it would for sure still be into August, and then literally a month later, it would be Daryl Dixon season 3, right? So I don't think they're going to do that. There's been a lot of talk and a lot of rumors that it's going to be March, and so that's the date that I'm actually expecting, is I do think the show is going to return in March. I thought we would get a release date. They actually announced a release date for other shows that are coming out in January, so I think by the time Daryl Dixon season 2 ends, which is going to be next month, obviously in like 3 weeks from now or whatever, we'll probably get a release date then. They'll probably say something like it's going to be, or not a release date, but a month specifically, right? They'll probably say March, because again, the rumor out there has been March, and I think that makes a lot of sense. So maybe it's going to be late March. Just looking at the calendar right now, I mean, it could be March 23rd, March 16th, or March 30th, somewhere around there. 2 months of that would go all the way until like mid-May, right? Like early to late May or something like that. And then you have June off, obviously, and then July is going to be Comic-Con. August, it'll be sort of a promotion for Daryl Dixon season 3, and then in September we'll get that show. So I think that's sort of the schedule they want to stay with, right? Like if it's in March, then they have a Walking Dead show coming out every 6 months, and I think the pacing for that is really well done. And then obviously I think you just have to add more episodes, and Gimple did confirm that they are working on some new spin-offs right now. So the next shot here in the trailer, we do actually see New York City, and yeah, it says, do you want to bring back Manhattan? And that seems to be the focus of the story here, and I'm really excited about this because season 1, honestly, it was great, and I really liked how they introduced New York City and introduced a lot of the story there. But what I wasn't the biggest fan of was how small the story felt. I think for the first season, that made sense. But for a second season, like, what were you going to do with the story? It seems like a war could start between New Babylon and I don't know what you would call the Bruegel's group or the Dama. Are they on the same side, or maybe they're not? Like, that's what I don't know about. We don't know a lot of the specifics there, but I think that in terms of, I know that they want methane, right? Like, that's what they're all trying to do here because they just want more resources. And so I think if they're able to power on New York City, if that's like a big moment that they're working towards, throughout the whole entire season here, I think the moment it happens, it's honestly going to be really incredible. And I really wonder what this means for the overall Walking Dead universe just in general, because like, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal. But then we have this one shot right here, which I think honestly, like, this is why this spinoff here for season 2, it's honestly looking like the best one so far. And I know I've been saying that about like Daryl Dixon in terms of being the best spinoff so far, but season 2 so far, I mean, I haven't watched the last 3 episodes of season 2, so I don't know yet. I still really like the show overall, but I think my excitement overall for The Walking Dead hasn't necessarily been there. I have to watch Dead City to see, but my excitement for this show specifically, because it feels like old Walking Dead, it feels like, an advancement in certain ways for The Walking Dead as well. To see Negan have Lucille back, to have the jacket back, to be the leader here. Like, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. It's really going to be amazing to watch. And I can't wait to watch these scenes. I think they're going to be absolutely incredible. Like, you see this shot right here where he makes everyone listen. Like, I feel like the way the scene's going to play out here, they're going to be talking about whatever. Like, the room will probably be pretty loud. Everyone's talking, and then he'll command everybody to be silent by, like, I guess, like banging the bat on the table, right? And so everyone will listen at that point. Again, I don't know what the story is, what kind of speech he's going to give at that point, but it's going to be a really incredible moment. And I do think this is going to be the first moment where he becomes the character again, right? Like, Negan becomes Negan again, like the old version of the character that we love, because obviously we saw a lot of that in season 1, but it's definitely like that's where the character's going here for season 2. So I'm so excited. Like, honestly, seeing this here was just absolutely incredible. We see some shots here of Maggie, and there's something going on at the bricks. This is probably, a lot of episode 1 stuff. I still don't know necessarily what is going on here, if New Babylon showed up or exactly what's happening here. But yeah, we did see this shot of Maggie before. We also have this one shot here of the Croat and Negan, I guess, looking at this group of people here. And again, I still don't know a lot about this community, or it's not really a community because it's a lot of people. I guess you could call it that, though, because it is just like a smaller community here. I mean, I don't really know anything about, the groups that are in New York City, so we'll have to wait and see. But just really cool to actually see this here. Honestly, for some reason, this shot just reminds me of season 3 with the governor. I think it's because of all the fire, though, to be honest. That's sort of why I'm getting, that sort of vibe from this. But yeah, then we see the Dama here. She seems very happy. She's clapping here, so that means that, I guess, in terms of everybody listening to Negan, it is actually working. And so, yeah, she seems to be very happy with what's happening there. We do see the Croat here. I guess someone's in the trunk and he's laughing. I'm not sure who. Is it Maggie? I mean, I have no idea. I do like the fact that in terms of the helmets and all of that the Croats people do wear, like, it actually is still pretty similar to the season 1 look overall, though in season 1, the Croats people had a lot of spikes going on with their helmets. So it's a little bit more simple this time, and I really do like the look overall. So what I will say, though, is that this actually reminds me of a shot of Negan, the Dama, and there's other characters. They're actually all walking in a line. It looks like they're going to meet somebody. So I think that this is happening afterwards, just because the buildings look the same and stuff. So I think it's probably happening in the same scene. And then we get this shot here of Maggie killing these walkers. So again, something is happening at the bricks. We do see Bruegel here, and his group overall looks very different from the Dama and Croat's group, right? Like, they all wear helmets and whatnot. Bruegel's group seems to not do that. And again, I don't know what is going on in terms of all the groups in New York City, because I know that there's a lot of them, right? And I think that's what the Dama wants. The Dama wants Negan to bring everyone together, I guess. And so the goal right now is to restore power to Manhattan. Obviously, that's going to happen at some point, but who does that? Is that New Babylon? Is that Negan? And what's the purpose of all that? There's a lot to do with resources. And again, this just really got super fascinating here. I'm really interested in where the story is going to go here for season 2. This just looks absolutely incredible. And obviously we see the shot here of Bruegel, I guess, looking at someone here. And I don't think he's looking at the power going on in New York City and whatnot. I mean, the thing is, this is sort of what the show benefits from, because Dead City is set so far in the future, right? I think Daryl Dixon is around 12 to 13 years into the apocalypse, and I think that this is 5 or 6 years later, so that's going to be 17 to 18, 19 years into the apocalypse, somewhere around there. The other shows will catch up at some point, but obviously, just for this show, it's been that long, right? Close to 20 years almost at that point, where there's just been no power. A lot of these groups have just been living here, and there's been no power to New York City or to Manhattan for forever. So to see something like this, it's going to be absolutely incredible. Honestly, I am so excited for season 2. I cannot wait. I want to see another trailer. There was a lot of exclusive sneak peeks for this show shown at Comic-Con today, but in order to have seen it, you would have had to have been there. So I hope some of that does come out at some point here, maybe after Daryl Dixon airs. I think we'll probably get something then. The second Daryl Dixon finishes airing on November 3rd, we'll probably get a next teaser or a sneak peek or something like that at the show. And yeah, the show's probably going to be out in March, I'm assuming. So a lot of promotion starting in January and February, right? So I'm really excited. I really cannot wait. I'll have a lot of videos breaking down all the other details, for The Walking Dead. But yeah, so just stay tuned for that. But hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.